Why didn't you tell me?
The doctor said I should go on and live life normally as best I could. I don't want anybody to be weird around me.
Including me?
Especially you. You know, I was getting along with everything fine. I accepted it, and then you happen. I do not need a reason to be angry with God.
This is one of the most important scenes in the 2000 film A Walk to Remember, where our protagonist, Jamie, is presented as this very chaste, innocent, sweet and kind Christian girl with an unwavering faith that encounters this very broken boy, and as the Christian belief goes, after all the bad things he has done, she still believes in him and thinks she can help him find his way. And the movie is about his process of recognizing himself, his mistakes, and finding the purpose and the will to grow out of himself, overcome the insecurities of his own misguided ego, and become a better person by sharing in her hope, her optimism, and her empathy and care for others. So for the moment of breakthrough, the truth is revealed that she is sick of a terminal illness and is going to die. So everything breaks down for both of them after trying so hard to keep pretenses for so long. People of faith usually have to face this question countless times in their lives, as bad things happen to them inevitably as part of life. They don't understand why would someone who they believe intervenes in every aspect of their lives allow something like that to happen, and against their own instincts force themselves or deceive themselves into thinking and believing that it's part of a greater purpose, that was part of God's plans. But she knows that it feels unfair, not just for herself, but the people around her. She's so young and wanted to live life. She enjoyed living life and serving God in life. Yet, God is making her life short by allowing her to die soon, by which she, out of all people, have to suffer from everything that entails a disease like this, being as virtuous as she is. And even more so now that God sends her something so wonderful to take it immediately away from her. It could seem irrational, almost impossible not to feel some level of deep resentment towards a creature or an entity that you believe has the power to change the circumstances and yet doesn't. Still, that is the message that the film wants you to take. To be grateful that it happened and not sad because you won't be able to cling to it. Because now that would allow you to hold on to it and keep it with you now in a more long-lasting way, because that is love. However, the sacrificial and symbolic death that she has at the end of the film, I do not believe that it was the most appropriate decision to deliver a message of change, if the intention was to prove that he would have remained a changed person, a better person, even if she was no longer in his life. Because it was not about her, but the truth of who she was. It would have made more sense that she continued to live and they remained as summer lovers or just friends, to demonstrate that the lessons that they learned from one another throughout the period that they spent together was so influential and important and truthful that permeated throughout the rest of their lives as this very long-lasting and selfless type of love. Because by making her die or allowing her to die at the end of the film, it could be said in a way to sort of erode the message of the movie. The death of a loved one is a very traumatic experience that stays with you for the rest of your life, making it something of a constant reminder that someone very much symbolically died for him to become a better person, be saved in a way, just like in the Christian tradition it is said Jesus did for us. So he has no other way but to honor the memory of the person he valued so much by continuing to live as a good and decent man for the rest of his life, but not just because of the essence of the truth and value of what she believed, but because of the pain of that loss prompting him, as it also becomes the only way, even if just in his heart, of keeping her alive.